human beings. So that's something that, we believe
Yeah, and you
in
should,
wholeheartedly.
we have to be able to say to young men, it's like, take care of your damn kids, you weasel. What are you doing walking away from them? What are you doing? That's the adventure of your life you're missing. And if we were more forthright about this in some sense, we could advertise children to young men, because if you think that they're just a responsibility, that just means that you don't know what the hell's going on, because they're unbelievably fun, especially if you're... So I worked in daycares when I was a young man, which also made me someone quite...
I fucking hate this. Like, Jordan Peterson was someone I used to really actually look up to. I used to listen to the stuff that he said. I think he had some great things to talk about, but this shit is just absolutely, like, deplorable. He's getting old as fuck. This boy got some Joe Biden shit going on. Who's saying that men don't want to be with their children? Nobody is saying men don't want to be with their children. It's the deplorable attitude of a lot of baby mothers out there. And it's like, you're supposed to sacrifice your life as a man so that you succumb to her wishes so that you can see your child. He does not talk about this shit. Like, oh my God. Jordan Peterson is somebody that, he's a perfect example of when academics, high prowess and high academic achievement, especially in the intellectual fields, does not translate well into socio-economical as well as, like, just regular life shit. Like, if you watch this whole interview, he talks about his life. He was never a ladies' man. He was never, and it's not, nobody's saying that you had to be a ladies' man in order to have anything to say about men. No, but you do need to understand what the world is like and what most situations are like when you're talking about this single mother, single father, single parent shit. You want to talk about, especially in the black community is different. If he's speaking about the white community, he's talking to the Hafiz. So you're dabbling in the black community a little bit when you're talking about this shit. So when it comes to this Jordan Peterson, you need to be understanding that, what is it? Like 70% of children, especially in the black community, are raised in single mother households. Okay? So are we just going to say that 70%, 7 out of 10 men don't want to be with their children? They're just walking out willy-nilly? You're fucking you're delusional, Jordan Peterson. This is just I can't believe it. Like, for someone I used to love, I've read his books. I've watched a lot of his lectures. I haven't finished his biblical series, but like, I love his biblical series. And just to hear this shit, I see why people say he's a beta male. I see why people say he's a simp. He's the champion of the women. He doesn't care for men like that. He doesn't understand the plights of men. He spent so much of his time in fucking college and shit. He's so detached away from, like, reality.
Quite strange, because I was the only guy in those daycares. And I
worked there too.
I couldn't do this now, but I could then. So the kids, I used to do airplane rides with them, where you grab their arm and their leg and swing them around. Yeah, they love that. They would line up for that, right? And I used to draw them little monsters on pieces of paper. They were just like X's with teeth and a big glaring eye. And they would line up for that too. And these are kind of male things to do, And kids, and this is something I got from my father, I think, this ease with children. They're unbelievably fun if you're allowed to play with them. And men have...
See, I don't know why he's even coming at it this way, as if men don't want to be with their children. He's continuing to talk about all the great things about children, and it's like, we understand that. Nobody is saying that they don't want to really legitimately be with their child. Even if it's something out of wedlock, even if it's something like in my situation where I knew the chick for like a couple weeks and she had a child, I still want to be there for my child. She didn't want me to be there. And it's like, what the fuck? Fuck out of here.
Have that physical play element to their character. And so you shouldn't be thinking of them just as a responsibility. The other thing too is that the relationship you have with your kids, if your eyes are open, that is the best relationship you will ever have with anyone in your life. I was thinking about my son.
there's no longer an incentive for men to, be fathers. There's an agenda that's pushed at times about how fathers are absolute. Father's Day now is just, Mother's Day again. And so I think, unfortunately, a lot of men feel very useless in their role as a parent. And I think that's unfortunate because,
First off, this is a terrible approach to men being fathers and being incentivized for it. I mean, yeah, we would like to have Father's Day, but what the fuck? Let's start with some real shit. I don't give a fuck about a Father's Day. How about I have an actual baby mother that's a decent human being to actually work with? How about that? How about the fact that child support is outrageously high for a lot of motherfuckers out here? How about that shit? Let's start there first. That will incentivize. How about holding women accountable for the way that they hold their children over our heads like it's a fucking, like it's ransom or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about that? These men have huge ass platforms talking about the most mundane of shit. Fucking Father's Day? Yeah, I would like to have that, sure, but what the fuck? What's Father's Day compared to some 18 years of ridiculous high-ass child support? What's Father's Day compared to fucking not seeing your child because your fucking baby mother uses him as ransom? Come on.
Personal experience.
Women are often afraid of the way that men interact with children, and it's partly, an extension of their proclivity to protect. And so it can seem intimidating, and that's what men do.
Proclivity to protect. Jordan Peterson is skating over so many poignant pieces that he could have established in this here. Women don't understand men. Women don't, and of course he's alluding, there was a little subtle, a lot of women are afraid of men because of the sexual things they're going to do to children and shit like, and it's like, once again, we are taking the minority of motherfuckers out here and applying the devious acts of the minority and putting that onto the majority. Like, how does that make sense? How does that make sense, you guys? It's like, this, oh my God, man, this is just terrible. And nobody is addressing Jordan Peterson. Everyone is taking Jordan Peterson's word as if it's God speaking down himself. Like, what the fuck, you guys? Come on. Get some backbone. Where are the people at? It's because he's got all these numbers. And it's because someone like me who doesn't have all these numbers, they're going to be looking at me like, oh, you're just trying to get clout. Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How about we actually have legitimate, real-ass conversations? What is this? The proclivity of women to not trust men. It's because Kevin Simmons shows it on his channel. Jordan Peterson, how many women do you have calling in on your channel? How many women do you have that you talk to about this type of shit? Come on, Jordan. Women don't understand men. Women don't know about men. And women use children as an extension of themselves. They want to control every aspect of their lives with it. But when shit gets a little tough, shit gets a little rough, then they kind of want to be like, hey, let's let the father, honey, can you come in? I'm tired. Fuck out of here.
To play, for example, to play more roughly, because it does take some courage on the part of a doting mother to, for example, let a man throw her baby up in the air, throw her infant up in the air, in play, obviously, and there is danger in it, but it's tremendous excitement. Children love that kind of play. And so, it also speaks to a sort of deep distrust that many women have of men, because the relationships they had with their own father, or with their boyfriends, or with their brother perhaps, has been pathologized in some manner. And so there's a distrust, and fair enough. But, trust is courage once you're not naive. And if you don't trust your father, your mate, your partner, if you're a woman, you have a child, you don't trust your mate, then you cannot entice the best out of him. You can't. You have to trust first and invite and say, well, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm finna turn this video off. This motherfucker is just so outrageously simping for women and shit. Because here it is. Of course you have to trust your mate. Once again, he is going on to the side of women. He's like, look, You gotta trust your mate. Let's trust him. But if you finish this interview, you know what he says about men who choose the wrong partner? He's like, why the fuck are you complaining about your wives? You chose her. Stop complaining. You're so weak. You're such a weasel. And here we are right here at another poignant piece where he could have gone just as hard on the women about this. Why would you have a child with someone you can't trust? Why would you have a child with someone you can't trust? He does not go off on the women for saying this shit, for doing this shit. But you know what he does say? Women are right. Women are always right because they don't want to sleep with you. They are perfectly right. You don't deserve to be slept with. You don't deserve for anyone to be with you because women said it. They're right because of evolution. Think back in the hunter-gatherer days, women knew exactly what to do and what genes to procreate. And now, if they're not choosing you, it's because you are not worthy. Fuck out of here, Jordan Peterson. Shut the fuck up, bro. I'm pissed off about this. I'll pull up the books about Jordan Peterson I got here, but it's just outrageous to hear someone of his stature, of his intellect, of his clout. Jordan is an amazing human being, and he's saying this bullshit. Wow.
I know you're just as stupid as me, but, you know, I'm going to trust you to do your best and to learn. And that's real courage. That takes real courage, especially when it's your child that you're dealing with. But it's much better for the child and for you because then you don't have to do all the work as a woman. And, I mean, I saw women all...
See, he's talking about the husbands like they're just random guys. Like, it takes a lot of courage to allow the father of your child to really handle your children. It takes a lot of courage. Applause, women. Applause, single mothers, for allowing. It takes a lot of courage for the person you laid down with and had an entire human being with, for you to let him take the lead and actually raise your child. Applause to you, women. You're so strong for that. Fucking A.
All the time in my practice, but also, you know, as I had kids and met other families who would really covertly punish their husbands every single time they interacted with their kids. They'd glare or say something caustic or interfere in some way, and you do that 50 times to your partner, and they're out of the game, man. You've pretty much finished that. So,
100, yeah. No, that's true, and I think definitely, you know, hopefully episodes like this would be able to help women understand the importance of it. And Dr. Warren Farrell's books talked about.
This will not help women do any of that. They're not paying attention to this shit. This goes in one ear and out the other. This isn't how anyone understands shit. This may make sense for men, but this doesn't translate the same way for women. Women aren't gonna it's not gonna change their fucking lives. Men mostly watch Jordan Peterson's shit. Go back 2, 3, 4 years when he was actually coming out on YouTube and shit. What was his demographic? He even said it himself when he was talking to the lady on the fucking, when they had like the one-on-one interview.
And you said at the time, you know, YouTube skews very male and your fan base is very male. Is that still the case? Are you still primarily talking to men?
I would say the talks are probably 60-40, 65-35 male to female.
It's mostly men that watches this channel. What the fuck you talking about, Jordan? What the fuck are you talking about, JP? I'm out for this video, man. This is just bullshit.